Hey guys, good morning. It's Mr. Vintage, Memorial Day weekend. Thanks to our veterans who made the ultimate sacrifice so that we might enjoy being free in this great country. On our way up north to Burly Park near Howard City, Michigan, cruising in our trusty Chevrolet. I'm gonna crank up some tunes, get in the vibe, get amped up a little bit. Let's pick up some cool stuff, some flips, some projects. Got a little bit of walking around money. Let's have a good time and see what we find.
See the USA in your Chevrolet. America's asking you to come. Drive your Chevrolet through the USA. America's the greatest land of all. On a highway or a road along a levee. Performance is sweeter, nothing can beat her. Life is completer in a Chevy.
Hear the train a-comin', it's rolling around the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on. All right, well, we finally made it. About 45 minutes away from the house, give or take. Parked here in the woods, probably a quarter mile away from the show. Got our grocery getter. Mrs. Vintage did a very nice job with that. Let's go see what we can find. All right, we found our first winner of the day. Got a unmarked number 10. Looks like an oldie. $10. It's a deal.
Nothing in my food is right. $85 on the Pepsi box. One word. Or I should say, if you find a price, it's not my price. I've operated that way for 42 years.
Just picked up this bad boy for $20. It looked good hanging on the deck. Whew. All right, not gonna lie. So far, this YouTube is not my best work. There's way more people around, and it's a lot harder to do this without my handy helper, Mrs. Vintage. So far though, a lot of great picks. Burly Park doesn't disappoint. Let's take a look at what we got. Our grocery getter is filling up fast. All right, we made it back to the car. About a half a mile walk with all of this stuff. Gonna get loaded up, get back to the shop, and we'll show you what we got. All right, found this guy at Burly Park, 1953 Coleman 500 Speedmaster stove. Kind of unique. These came in two flavors. The earlier models have a nickel-plated fount on them. Great user. I think I paid $10 for this guy. This guy right here is a 1984 Coleman lantern. It's not especially vintage, but we're going to do something fun with that later. We'll get back to that later. Rusty old pair of tailor shears, dressmaker shears. Pick these up. We're going to do a restoration on that. They are super rusty. Looks like they came out of the dirt somewhere. Paid a whole $5 for those at Allegan. This guy came from Burly Park. This is a model 515 Coleman catalytic heater, 5,000 to 8,000 BTU. This is the biggest one that they made. This is made about 1968. Guy I got it from said they used it at deer camp and always put out quite a bit of heat. Couple of wicks for some Aladdin lamps. Got one of those to restore at some point in time. Cheap parts are good parts, especially when you can find new old stock originals in the box. I bought these at Allegan for $10 for both of them, which was a great deal. Typically mantles and wicks are anywhere between $15 to $25 a piece to buy them brand new, and those are in great shape. Here we have a Singer Model 20 So Handy in the original case. Picked this up. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this one so far. I may fix it up and keep it for my daughter when she gets old enough, or I might just put it online and sell it. Paid $60 at Burly Park, so pretty reasonable find for what it is. These typically go anywhere between that and like $150 online. Got a number 10 cast iron pan. Anything beyond a number 8 is actually pretty hard to find. This is an unbranded, unmarked pan. It's definitely vintage. A little bit of research I did on it. Looks like it is a Lodge, probably made prior, somewhere between 1940 and 1960. You can see the 3 marks there was something that Lodge did. Helps to identify it, so that'll be a good one. We'll probably clean this guy up and put that to use in our kitchen along with the rest of our cast iron. And here was the find of the day. This is a 1955 Singer Featherweight. I've redone a lot of Singer Featherweights over the years. This one, the motor is locked up and something's out of time with the bobbin. Great little find. I paid $100 for it. Online, those typically sell for anywhere between $300 and $500 for this particular model. So this is the guy that pays for all of my weekend picks. That'll be getting cleaned up. We'll do a video on that. I won't call it a restoration, but we'll make it work again and give it a nice clean and send it on to its next home. Came with the original case, pedal, bunch of accessories, and some rick-a-rack. Bought a couple of pans for use here in the shop. Mrs. Vintage isn't real fond of me using her cookie sheets and cake pans to soak parts in, so for what I paid for them at Burly Park, couple bucks a piece, it's about perfect for that. Picked up the Giant Ohio jumbo dial gauge. They'll be going out on our deck eventually. $20 is a very fair price for one of these. Picked that up at Burly Park. And our last finds for the day. Got this for Mrs. Vintage. She's been wanting one. Old school Wagner antique, Wagner ware antique cast iron griddle. Be making some flapjacks on that here in a couple of weeks. Got this behemoth that I showed you already. Old school 1950s chainsaw, Homelight Model 17, made between 1954 and 1955. Pretty much everything is locked up on this. Looks like it was sitting probably in a dirt floor shed for God knows how many years. But yeah, when we get to it, we'll see if we can't bring her back to life. If nothing else, it's going to look sweet hanging on my wall. Thanks for joining me. I hope you had a fantastic holiday weekend. Thanks again, and let's get back to work.